This is a Santa Cruz Vala base model that I've slowly turned into the best all-mountain e-bike that I've ever ridden. And now it's time to fully upgrade it, so let's take off what's being replaced. This is episode 3 of Project Vala Ultimate. The goal here is to create the best Santa Cruz Vala in the world. Then I'm going to take pictures of it with my fancy camera, post it to Instagram, and fingers crossed Santa Cruz shares it or likes it. That would be an honor as a bike builder. And stay tuned because I'm going back to my roots and doing something that I haven't done in almost 2 years. Plus, I'm going to try out a new drivetrain that just hit the market. Well, a lot has been removed, and that's because we have a ton of upgrades to finish this off. But all right, enough talking. It's time to make this into the best Vala in the world. You may have seen at the start of the video saying 4 videos left, and that's because after 4 videos, I'm gonna be taking a break. We'll call it a paternity leave. My wife and I are having another baby due about May 8th or something, so I'll be taking a paternity leave for 2 to 3 weeks, something I didn't get to do with my last 3 kids. With this Santa Cruz Vala giveaway, one of you will be the lucky winner, but if you don't win, it'll be going towards supporting me, my family, and this channel, so I really appreciate that. I really want to go the extra mile on this build. I want it to be cohesive, so I ordered a few different decal kits in boxer red color. 1UP makes red decals, but I thought it was going the extra mile to have the exact same color throughout the bike. Just wait until you see the frame decals. You might recognize these pedals. These are the 1UP pedals that I use in the high-low series. They were squeaking, so I read online that you remove an O-ring, but I mistakenly took off and lost the flange spacer. So to replace that, I bought a pedal service kit for 20 bucks. And this has everything you need to fully service the pedals. And it's pretty cool. You take these pedals apart by using a cassette tool. Man, this is looking so good, but I'm still not sold on the red grips. I don't want to do too much red, but overall this is looking amazing compared to what it was in stock form. But the next upgrade though is gonna be insane. We're building a set of wheels, going with carbon rims and the new 1UP hubs. The only issue is it's been over 2 years since I've laced up wheels. I hope I remember how to do it. If you've been watching my videos for a while, I'm talking way back in the Schwinn and Vitas days. I used to spoke wheels in almost every video. I first started turning spoke wrenches when I was 13. I taught myself how to true a wheel on a 16-inch that I tacoed. I didn't end up building a wheel completely until I was 17. It's one of those things I don't do very often, but I never shy away from it. Wheel building is a skill that people like to gatekeep. They say that you need to be a skilled wheel builder to lace up a wheel with all these fancy tools, but that's not true. You need self-belief, determination, and patience. I start by firing up a step-by-step video to follow along the lacing pattern. You could do this without a truing stand. You'd put the wheel in the frame or fork and then use zip ties or tape to check wobbles and hops. Once I get all the spokes in, I take my time evenly tensioning the wheel, checking for dish, hops, and true. After some time, the wheels end up like 99% perfect, and that's good enough. I really wonder what bike shops charge to lace wheels. It took me 5 hours to lace both wheels, and that probably wasn't the most efficient use of time if we're talking hourly wage, but man, I had so much fun doing it. Totally worth it in my book, so satisfying. The funny thing is, I bought these rims in 2023 and I was gonna use them on a Walmart Schwinn and install crazy upgrades on that, but I scrapped the idea and did hardtail Quest instead. These red decals were for the Schwinn, but just happened to work perfectly for this build. And with the wheels complete, I can finally install the tires that came with this bike, Schwalbe radials. Wow, this is the fanciest bike that I've ever built by far. Dang. Oh, that reminds me, do you guys keep up with the mountain bike news? Sea Otter was last week and it seemed like every brand under the sun released new products. It was exhausting. But there was a new launch in there that I've been waiting for over a year since I saw a prototype on a bike here in Bentonville. You guys asked for it, I delivered the all-new SRAM Eagle 90 transmission. This derailleur bolts directly to the frame, no derailleur hanger needed. This was previously available as electronic only, but now cable actuated. And I'll be making a full-length, brutally honest review video with that next week, so stay tuned for that. But the big thing about this Eagle 90 is they say it's better to shift under load, which is perfect for an e-bike. I'm excited for my brutally honest review on this drivetrain. There were 20 review videos that all came out on launch day, but what do they all have in common? They didn't actually buy the drivetrain. I bought this from N+1 Bikes. I went with the No Crank e-bike group set that retails for $590, but with my Evan11 coupon code, it came down to $525. They say this Eagle 90 is GX tier. I mean, it uses a GX cassette and a GX chain, but I will say the shifter feels cheaper than GX, and this Eagle 90 is heavier. The installation is a bit different. The best way I can describe it is like a dance with tightening the derailleur and the axle while keeping chain tension. And I have stripped out a transmission derailleur bolt before, even using a torque wrench, and that makes me extra cautious when doing this. Despite that, the installation was very easy, very straightforward, and maybe it's even easier than the Axis version. But last up, to finish off this Vala Ultimate build, the matching decals that I talked about before. These decals are from Slick Graphics. They've sent me decals before and I was blown away by the quality and color. So this time, I paid full price because they're that good. I don't know how they do it, but I've never once had an air bubble using these decals. I'll admit it, I bought this bike for the looks. Gray frame with red decals would be perfect with all the red parts that I had on hand. But when I got the bike, the Santa Cruz logos are like burgundy. They definitely lean purple, and this whole build was planned around them being red, so I had to fix that. With that, the bike is complete, and while I was putting on these decals, I was like going to get my wife, and I was like, look how good this looks. Man, and since this Vala is an all-mountain machine, I really want to do this build justice, so let's hit the road to Lake Leatherwood for some enduro riding, but first, let's stare at it. After all those upgrades, the bike weighs a pound more, and I expected the carbon wheels would lighten it up a little bit, and I can't remember if the stock weight was done without pedals, but still, carbon wheels, carbon bars, and it's heavier. Oh yeah, I love this corner on the e-bike. Rod downshift. I will say with this Bosch motor, compared to the Gen 4, it is much quieter and there's no more rattle. So congratulations to Bosch. You finally fixed your motor to be as quiet as Shimano. Before, it was just speculation that this Gen 5 motor was going to get a firmware update to increase the torque, but now that's been upgraded to a very strong rumor, and I've heard that it could be as soon as next month. So I think that's pretty cool to get more power out of your bike with just a software update. And this trail system called Lake Leatherwood, it's about an hour from Bentonville. It's an enduro shuttle park, but I'm on a super powerful e-bike, so I'm self-shuttling today. And since I usually crash here, I have a chest protector on. This is a Liat full body armor that I recently bought. It has
elbow pads built into the sleeves. You got the shoulder protection, chest protection, and then I got some knee pads on as well, so I'm protected. In the first few laps here, I was really struggling with bike setup, and I was like adjusting all the settings on the fork and doing bracketing again, and then I just rolled my bars back a little bit, and that made the world of difference. I did not think that bars being rolled forward made that much of a difference. But I'm really curious to see how good this bike feels with all these upgrades. And the one thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have went red right here on the Vivid sticker and gray on the RockShox, but that's the only regret I have. I mean, I'm getting all sorts of compliments on this bike. Let's hit this trail called DH2. Oh yeah, here comes a jump. Sweet. Real loose gravel right here. Oh yeah, mud. I didn't want to get my bike muddy today.
I get a lot of comments saying that I should have set a bike and forget it, but even though I just dialed in the suspension back home, those settings didn't work here. And I want my bike to feel as good as I can possibly get it at any trail system that I'm riding. The Leatherwood trails are faster, more square edge repeated hits, and I ended up closing the rebound on the fork and opening the rebound on the shock. Seemed a little strange, but it worked. Moving forward, I'm going to start keeping notes on what changes I've made at different trail systems. But after all that was said and done, this bike, since my Tennessee trip, will make me laugh with excitement on how good it feels when I'm riding it. I'm so happy to be sharing that feeling with one of you guys winning this thing.
Oh man, it's rowdy. Well, this Vala is as good as it's gonna get. I got it all tuned up for Lake Leatherwood, and it's running so good. And some things on this build were purely cosmetic. Like, I didn't think this shock made that much of a difference over the stock Float X. I don't know if that stock shock was tuned appropriately for this bike, but it felt really good. And this was only like marginal gains. And then these Ergon fat grips. I don't run fat grips, and this girthy of a grip made me feel like I had almost no control over the bars. I don't really like it. And the last thing, these carbon wheels, they did not make any performance benefit at all. Even on the climb, I didn't really feel it. It was nicer having the better hub engagement, and it did sound pretty cool, but I don't really think it made that much of a difference. But they do look really cool too. And that was the whole point of this build, to build the fanciest, best Vala in the world.